Leadership, 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 success, success, success. Hi, my name is Jonathan Medina. I'm America's #1 youth motivator. I'm your teacher, I'm your coach, I'm your friend, and I'm your teammate. And today we're talking about leadership and success. I'm so pumped. It's National Gear Up Week. Thank you so much to Region 12. Thank you so much to Groesbeck High School, Kristen Curry. Thank you so much for inviting me to come and participate with you guys. I am pumped. Groesbeck High School, let's go. Now, I want to go straight into telling you about a prize for today. If you watch the whole video, if you stay to the end, I'm going to share with you how I'm going to give one of you guys $100. I'm going to share with you guys the simple way to get $100 today. I'm going to share with you guys about my personal pandemic, and I'm talking about pride, the GOAT, being the greatest of all time, and a ninth grade story. But you may be wondering, who am I? If I was speaking at your school, if we were doing a camp, if we were having a multi-day conference or a camp with you guys would have someone introduce me. So they would say something like, he's spoken to over 1,000 schools at places such as Harvard, Texas A&M, University of Texas, and schools all across the United States of America, from New York City all the way to Los Angeles. They would say that he's spoken to over 1 million educators, to 1 million students, to 1 million parents, 1 million parents. He's also a Georgetown University Division I football player, 2-year starter. He's been featured on ESPN, NBC, ABC, Fox, and TED. Best-selling author. That's a new one that I just accomplished recently. And I broke the record at McDonald's for eating the most Happy Meals in one day. Please comment if you want. I'll give a special prize for anyone who does a good guess, gets close, or if you get it on the spot, I'll throw in an extra $100 just for you. But take a guess at my record for McDonald's. It's an unofficial record, so you can't Google it, you can't go find it. It'll just be hidden. Now, before I was breaking records at McDonald's, before I was a best-selling author, before I was speaking all across the country, before I became a Division I college football player, before all that, it all started with a vision. Now, I bring that up because there's so many people out there that had 2020 built as the year of vision. They said that 2020 vision, that was going to be the theme for the year, that was going to be like the launch, it was going to be the best year ever. But so many people have already given up on the year. So many people are no longer a part of, or they're deciding that they're not going to continue the vision. So I want to know what your vision is. I know you're not one of those people that have given up. I know you're not one of those people that have already quit. I know your vision is still strong. And so I want to know what your vision is for 2020. What are your goals for this individual year? What do you want to accomplish this year? As you're a part of Gear Up, what is the college career success that you're going to have? How can we help you to celebrate your educational achievements? How can we help you? Because in order for us to help you, we need to know what is your vision. So go and write down in the comments the word vision. One of my all-time favorite quotes, it says that without a vision, the people perish. I say it a little bit different. I say without a vision, the students lose. I'm going to repeat that again. Without a vision, the students lose. So I need you to have a vision for what you are going to do this upcoming year. I need you to have a vision for what you're going to accomplish. I need you to have a vision for how that applies 2020. How does that play out into 2024, 2025? Whatever the year that you're graduating, I want you to imagine what it's going to be like to walk the stage. I want you to imagine what it's going to be like to throw your cap up in the air. I want you to imagine what it's going to be like when your family's crying and they're proud of you, your mom and dad are taking photos of you, they're telling embarrassing stories. They just absolutely love that moment when you're graduating. I want you to think about that time or what you're going to plan on doing right after you graduate high school, because you're going to be college ready, you're going to be career ready, you're going to be successful. And so how are you going to finish high school? Or what are you going to do right after you finish high school? One of my best friends, he went straight into college. He went straight from high school to Texas A&M. He didn't take the summer off the way many other people did. He went straight there. And so what do you want to do right after you graduate high school? And then one of the things that I love about Gear Up is they're not just going to help you to be college ready. They're going to help you to be career ready as well. You have so many opportunities to see and learn about a vision on what to do as far as having a career, what kind of careers you want to have. And so I want to know in 2030, what is that career that you'll be doing? In 2040, what have you moved up? What is your plan? How has that worked out for you? What kind of income are you making? What kind of, maybe you started a business, maybe you run a nonprofit, maybe you are a teacher. Whatever it is, I want you to have a vision for what you want to accomplish. Who are you helping? What kind of house do you live in? What kind of family do you have? I want to know that long-term vision. I bring that up because that's one of the things that I've always taken a lot of pride in. I've always thought about the GOAT. One of the things that I include in my book, which many of you guys will get a free copy, most likely. You'll have to talk to them about it. But the GOAT, the greatest of all time. I included in my book, one of the things that I talk about is actually LeBron James. I talk about how he says he has an ultimate season goal. So we're going to count that as like your middle goal, that 2024. I want that to be like your high school goal. What is your ultimate high school goal? But beyond that, he has a goal of being the greatest of all time. He has a lot of pride in it. He works hard in it. If you watch basketball or fan at all, you could see that he is constantly in it. And right now, he's currently still in the playoffs, trying to win another championship. But the greatest of all time is something you can have a lot of pride in. We're going to make that your ultimate goal. What is that? That's the greatest of all time goal. I want that to be like your GOAT goal. What is the goal that you're going to have all the way until you're 30 years from now, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, right when you're going to retire? What kind of family? All those things. But I have to take you back to one of my journeys. I was a former Gear Up student myself. I'll never forget my first college visit. I remember going to Texas A&M University. I remember we got on a bus in South Texas. We drove all the way up to Texas A&M, and we got off the bus. I remember looking at the dorm rooms. I remember looking at the classrooms. I remember looking at the grass and the sidewalks and thinking to myself, I want this for me someday. I want to be a college student someday. That vision got planted in that moment. So what I want you to do during National Gear Up Week, I want you to do it all the rest of this year. I want you to think about the vision, the goals, and how you are going to be college ready, college successful, career ready, career successful. Now, I bring that up because I wanted to tell you really quickly about going into my first, so 7th grade. I put my shoulder pads on, I put my helmet on. I'm thinking like I'm going to be the most amazing athlete ever. And it does not work out for me. I'm a B team player. I'm a bad football player. My coach puts me down on the bench. It takes me so much effort to get to where I'm actually a good player. But by the time I'm a freshman, 2 years later, I'm now one of the better players in my school. I'm one of the better athletes in my school. I'm ready. I'm pumped. All the kids are looking up to me. And every single day, I'm being a leader, and I'm making sure that I go to the gym. And so every single day, I'm spending the summer at a friend's house. And every single day, I have to travel from my friend's house all the way over to the school. And so it's about a 2-mile run. And so every day, I'm running to the school. I'm dragging my friends with me. I'm making sure we all go. Because I'm so pumped. I'm so excited. I'm going to make high school the best year ever. And then I see my grandfather outside of the school. There's a little restaurant right next to my high school. And so I see my grandfather parked outside. And I run inside the restaurant. And I'm thinking my grandfather's going to give me a little bit of money. My grandfather, he loves sweets. So he's probably going to want to take me to get some sweetbread. He's probably going to want to take me to get some ice cream. And so I'm pumped and excited to see my grandfather. And I hadn't seen him in such a long time. And so I walk in. I have sweat coming down the side of my face. And I look at my grandfather. And he sees me and he says, Mijo, I've been looking for you. And I'm thinking, oh, awesome, even better. The treat's going to be even better than normal. And then my grandfather tells me, Mijo, son, your mom is going to jail. And she's going to go to jail for a long time. And I remember I went from being so pumped and excited to being sad, to feeling alone. It'd been something that I had been worried about for a long time. I honestly had been worried, and at night when I'd hear knocking, or daytime I'd hear knocking, I was always worried that it was going to be the police coming to take my mom, because my mom was involved with a lot of bad stuff. And that day had finally come. And my family was getting split apart. And I was moving in with my grandfather, which meant I had to work out in the fields. Not work out as an exercise, but physically work out in the hot sun in the agricultural fields. My grandfather's a migrant worker, so he was planning on retiring, and he didn't get to retire. He had to stay working to support me. So that entire moment just felt like I went from being really high to all of a sudden going really low and everything getting messed up. And I know that's the way many people feel out there. I've heard from many people that many students are saying they're distracted. Many students are saying they're discouraged. Many are even saying that they're depressed. And I know this year has been really, really tough. But one of the things I need for all of us to do is I need all of us to think about how we can still make this year the best year, even though there's a pandemic. I want you to think about how you can make this year the best year, even though there's a pandemic. I want you to think about how you could still have a vision, even though there's a pandemic. I want you to think about how you could still have pride, even though there's a pandemic. I want you to think about how you can be the greatest of all time and set goals, even though there's a pandemic. And I'm not trying to say anything light about the pandemic. I'm not trying to make it seem like it's no big deal at all. But I do need you to understand that you can, even though things are hard, even though things are difficult, even though it seems like it'd take all this effort in the world to change the things that are going on right now, I still believe that you can be successful. I still believe that you can be college career ready. I still believe that you can have a vision. I still believe that you can make goals and accomplish those goals, even though it might be hard, it might be difficult. The same way, the reason I have that picture up of a pan is because I have a pan with me right now. This is a frying pan, as you would see in a kitchen, just like anyone else. And so one of the things that's about the frying pan is it's really hard. I've already done it a few times, which actually makes it, I can't tell if it makes it easier or harder because the metal gets messed up even more. And so there's some things that make it easier. And so I'm trying to bend. I want to bend this metal, and so it's difficult, but it's starting to get there. It's no longer straight anymore. I'm trying to mess it up, and the thing is, it's difficult and it's hard, but I know that if I give it my all, I know that if I continue to think about it and see what I'm trying to do to it, I can make it get there. And I can actually bend and change the frying pan from being what it originally started as into something different. And so that's what I want you to do. I want you to make this year, not maybe it doesn't feel like it right now. Maybe it doesn't seem like it right now. I don't want you to just say this fake affirmation and say like, oh, this is the best year ever, even though that's not the case. What I want you to do is to make it the best year ever. I want you to bend it into the best year ever. I want you to mold it into the best year ever. I want you to change it into the best year ever. The same way it's hard for me to manipulate that pan and mess up the pan, I want you to change and manipulate this year to becoming the best year you've ever had. I want you to make it a year where you have a vision. I want when people ask you someday, because this is going to be a moment that's going to go down in history, it's going to go down as a historical moment. People are going to ask what it was like. And you're going to say, a lot of people around me, they gave up on their goals, they gave up on their vision, they gave up on that year, but instead I chose that I was going to change the year for myself. I was going to make it into the best year ever. And so what I did was, I participated in Gear Up. I went crazy on National Gear Up Week. I signed up for all of the programming that they had. I decided I was going to go on college tours. I decided I was going to take college tours online. I decided I was going to do leadership camps. I decided. One of my favorite quotes that my college coach told me, he said, decisions determine destiny. And that's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to decide. I want you to determine what your destiny is going to be. I want you to make this year the best year for yourself. Now, I want to reward a few people that have really done that. I want to reward a few people that are going to go all in on National Gear Up Week in Region 12. I want some people that are going to go all in at Groesbeck High School. I want some people that are going to go all in. So what I want you to do is I want you to post. I want you to get involved. Everything that they ask you to do, everything that Miss Curry asked you to do, I want you to participate. I want you to be involved. And I'm going to reward one of you guys with $100 prize. Just as a simple one, first way to get started, the first way to do it, the best way is to just go on to my Instagram. It's at JMedinaSpeaks. I want you to tag ED Partnerships. That's one of the National Gear Up or the organization that supports National Gear Up. And I want you to hashtag National Gear Up Week, hashtag Gear Up Works. Don't forget that 2020 is your year. 2020 is the year that you did have vision. They're going to say that a lot of people lost their vision, but you are the one that's going to keep the vision, because without a vision, students lose. And so you are not a loser. You are a champion. You are going to maintain your pride. You're going to be the greatest of all time. You are a champion. And don't forget, it's game time. Thank you so much to Ms. Curry. Thank you so much to Dr. Bomar. Thank you so much to Ms. Anderson and everyone that's supporting you. You're going to be college ready. You're going to be career ready, and you will be successful. Thank you so much, and you are a champion.